What? The actor Malcolm-Jamal Warner has died. First of all, rest in peace to him. He seemed like a very stand-up guy, positive role model. But I looked into this whole thing and it gets weird. First, let's start with the age he died at, which is 54. 5 plus 4 is 9. You guys know about my 9 videos, and 9 is the number of completion. But also, the show that he was famous for, The Cosby Show, in gematria equals up to 54.
Welcome to the Gossip Channel. Thank you for joining us on this journey. We're growing with you and because of you. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to help us reach 1,000 subscribers. Once we hit that milestone, a special prize will be waiting for you. Stay tuned. And now, let's get into the topic. Death ain't just tragic anymore. It's turning into a straight-up nightmare. And now, it just took an even darker turn. Because Dave Chappelle finally broke his silence and dropped a bomb. Malcolm didn't just drown, he was eliminated after refusing to sell his soul. Sound familiar? That's because Dave had the same demonic offer thrown at him years ago. The only reason he's still breathing today? He vanished off the map, dipped to a whole different continent without even telling his own family where he went. Folks clowned him back then, called him crazy. But now, that crazy looks like the truth. Malcolm really believed that just saying no would protect him. But let's be real. If Dave Chappelle and Cat Williams taught us anything, it's this. Turning down that kind of offer don't come without consequences. Once you reject them, they don't just walk away. They come for you. Just a week ago, Malcolm was found dead while swimming off the coast of Costa Rica. Reports claim a strong current dragged him deep into the ocean. He wasn't alone. Another man was pulled out too. But Malcolm didn't survive. Bystanders jumped in, gave CPR, and even the Costa Rican Red Cross came rushing in. But after 45 minutes, it was over. He was pronounced dead on the scene. TMZ even leaked exclusive footage of Malcolm's arrival to Costa Rica, and the timing has everyone asking questions. From the way Malcolm was moving, he looked excited, like he was ready to relax, enjoy that trip, then head back home to his family safe and sound. But the powerful folks he said no to, they had other plans. And let's be honest, not everybody's buying the accidental drowning story. People been side-eyeing this situation from the start, saying it smelled like straight-up foul play. Why? Because just days before that Costa Rica trip, Malcolm was trending, exposing deep, dirty secrets from inside the industry. He even revealed that some big-name higher-ups offered him millions to be in projects that completely went against his beliefs. He refused, and now he's gone. Too many coincidences, right? They basically told Malcolm, trade your soul for millions, but he wasn't going for it. He straight up said nah and turned that whole deal down. But here's where it gets even wilder. Malcolm ain't the only one who spoke up recently about these shady offers. More and more celebs are coming forward, and it's raising hella eyebrows. Chloe Bailey even hopped on live not long ago, and when someone asked her about sinners and babies, she spilled some real talk. She admitted she too was offered a Soul for Success deal, a fast track to fame if she'd just play along. And let's just say, she had a lot to say. One influencer broke it down perfectly. It just reminds you so much of how this industry really works, right? Like, you could have a pure gift, just like Malcolm with that guitar. And like they said, when he sang, he was honoring his ancestors, uplifting the energy. But that light, it also draws in the dark. She went on to say the vampires behind the scenes were basically telling him, if you want to really make it, you gotta sell out. That's the only way your music and name live forever. And that hit hard. She said, it's the same stuff I see and feel every day. That's when she broke down crying, because the message was clear. The ones who refused to sell out were inside fighting for their lives. Meanwhile, the ones who gave in, they were outside, partying, toasting it up, and getting fast fame handed to them. The truth hurts, but it's out there now. The reason Sinners hit me so deep is because it shows the real side of life in this industry. You can be the hardest worker, have all the talent in the world, and be a good person. But sometimes, that still ain't enough to get you where you need to go. That's why I broke down crying right after. Cause anybody in this game can feel that pain. It also made it clear evil can't just walk in unless you open the door. As long as you don't give that negativity a key, you stay protected. And that message, it stuck with me. That's why I connected with Sinners so hard. It was powerful, it was raw, and it was beautifully done. I'm beyond proud of everyone involved. They really brought the truth to life with this one. Man, I broke down when he started singing in that bar. Tears just started flowing, because in that moment, you could feel the history. All the ancestors that came before him, the ones who paved the way so he could sit there, strumming that guitar and pouring his soul into that music. Without them, he wouldn't have even been there. And if you've got a gift, something you really love, but you're moving with integrity and not selling out, then yeah, it feels like everything's taking longer. It's harder, and meanwhile, all this temptation is creeping in around you like vampires just waiting for you to slip. It hit too deep. That scene was powerful, spiritual, and real. That's why I cried for a whole hour after watching it. Because when you're trying to stay true in a dirty game, that pain cuts different. When all this started, people immediately brought up Dave Chappelle. Because Malcolm and Chloe's stories are looking like a part 2 of what Dave already went through. The only difference? Dave survived long enough to speak on it. And even then, they dragged him through the mud, called him crazy, and had him out here fighting just to protect his name. Dave's situation popped off back in 2006 during a tense interview with Oprah. He had just walked away from a $50 million Comedy Central deal. And when he explained why, he made it very clear. There was shady stuff behind the scenes he wasn't comfortable with. That's why he bounced. But while he was telling the truth, Oprah wouldn't let him speak. She kept cutting Dave off, trying to get him to admit he had some kind of mental illness, even though he didn't. What made it even wilder was that she started pushing that narrative right after he revealed that some Hollywood execs tried to force anti-psych meds on him. Now for some quick context, back in 2005, Dave dipped mid-production of season 3 of The Chappelle Show. No big announcement, no long explanation, he just bounced and flew to South Africa. And from that moment on, the media went into full attack mode, doing everything they could to tear his image down. They didn't miss a beat trying to label him crazy. They flooded the tabloids with rumors, saying Dave was having breakdowns, manic episodes, all kinds of wild stuff. He shut it down over and over again, but the media wasn't letting up, and people were eating it up. He tried to clear his name in multiple interviews, including one with the New York Times, where he said, "I'm not crazy, I'm not smoking crack, I'm definitely stressed out. There were things that overwhelmed me, but not in the way that people are saying." So it wasn't just about rejecting the money. They wanted him to sell his soul and turn his back on everything he believed in. And when he didn't fold, they came at him so hard, so dirty, that he had to flee the country. He was really scared for his life. But like I said, it wasn't just Dave who went through this mess. Cat Williams definitely felt the heat too. And honestly, folks believe Malcolm would have faced the same fate if he had made it out alive. Remember when Jaguar claimed armed men broke into Cat's house in the middle of the night? They weren't there to talk. Nobody knows how Cat survived that, but according to her, he was so shaken, he started sleeping in Kevlar every night, for real. And if you don't know what Kevlar is, that's body armor, a whole bulletproof vest. That's how real it got. He was living like every night could be his last. If everything being said about Malcolm turns out to be true, then Chloe and any other celeb who's been offered a chance to sell out better move real careful. Cause these people, they do not play fair. And of course, folks online had plenty to say. One person pointed out, Oprah knew exactly what Dave was talking about. The way she nervously scratched her neck, she looked shook. She knows they're doing some sick stuff, and she's part of that club. Another person said, as soon as I heard that, I knew something was off. When the stories don't match, that means something was done behind the scenes.
As well. Then let's go to the date he actually died on, which is July 20th, which is the 201st day of the year. Yeah, can anybody tell me why The Cosby Show ran for a total of 8 seasons, equaling 201 episodes? How? in which is the same number as this event, Event 201, which was a simulation of COVID in October of 2019, right before they actually had COVID. Something tells me that we have to watch.
And just like that, people started connecting dots that had been sitting in plain sight. They pulled up old clips, past interviews, and moments where other celebs tried to speak out, only to get blackballed, labeled, or suddenly disappear from the spotlight. One user even said, "The pattern is too loud now. First Dave, then Kat, now Malcolm. Y'all still think this is just coincidence?" And here's the thing, the industry never comes at you head on. They make it look like you snapped, like you fell off, or worse, like you're dead by accident. That's why people ain't brushing this off. Too many stories sounding the same, and too many voices being silenced right after speaking up. More fans chimed in with their own theories, pointing fingers at the elites and their obsession with control. One comment said, "They hate when someone's too woke, too grounded, or refuses to play their game. That's when the setup begins." And now Chloe's name is out there too, tied into this web of rumors and rejection. Folks are hoping she stays protected, because if what she said on live was even halfway real, she might have just put herself in their crosshairs. People are watching her every move now, looking for signs, for shifts in behavior, or any sudden incidents. Because in this industry, once you say too much, they start planning your exit, quietly, strategically, and without a single warning shot. See, it's hard to just accept this whole story at face value. I mean, would Malcolm really take his family all the way out there just to swim deep into the ocean and leave his daughter alone on the shore? And where was his wife in all this? The whole thing sounds way too convenient. And who was that other man he was with? Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Dave Chappelle was exposing the real truth behind Malcolm's death? Was Malcolm really taken out, or did he actually drown like they claim? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click right here to watch the next messy deep dive.